This game was a full-on mess for the Toronto Blue Jays, but before we get to that, I want to say a couple things. First off, I know you guys will probably know the whole situation by, a certain amount of time, but there is a tornado warning for the city of Toronto, York region area, so everybody be safe, stay inside, don't go too crazy. Just to be safe, I don't know if there will be one, but, just in case, just hang in there, all right? So, and also, tomorrow's video will be a bit later because I got a doubleheader to play if the weather holds up. If it doesn't, well, the video will be out on time. But let's talk about this absolutely abysmal game by the Blue Jays. Now, let's start with the starting pitchers. Mike Pelfrey against Marcus Stroman. Stroman gave up 3 home runs, but they were all solo home runs, and he only gave up 6 hits. Half of those hits were home runs. 2 of the 3 home runs were literally wall scrapers. They were out by about yay much. I mean, I'm not saying the Jays' losses of late have been just unlucky, but that doesn't help. That goes off the wall. They possibly don't come around to score, and yeah, you never know. Totally different outcome. But they do leave the yard. He gives up 3 runs. Or, you know what, let's start. Second inning, he gives up back-to-back home runs after sitting on the first 4 guys. I'm not sure what happened there, but you're down 2-0. We go to the bottom of the second. Blue Jays start to get something going, all right? Morales singles, Tulowitzki singles, then Goins hits a ball to the gap. It's going to score 2? Not a chance. Because the ball goes over the wall, you just get the 1. Maley gets out, well, you just got 1. It could have been a tie game, but instead, you get 1. The Jays' luck early, nowhere to be found. But this loss, not all about luck. Because the Blue Jays mentally were nowhere to be found. 3 errors in this game. Something we have not really talked about a lot is the amount of errors this team has made defensively. We expected this team to be a good, solid defensive ball club. But they've been making a lot of errors over the past little while. And there was 3 today, 2 by Josh Donaldson, 1 costing a run. Everything's just falling apart right now. Everything is falling apart. The Jays get 1 run to make it a 3-2 game, and Goins hit the ball hard, but right at him, roll a double play. There you go, inning over. And then they come back with 1 in the 7th, the Jays scored the 1 in the 7th inning, and then they come back with 1 in the 8th on the error by Josh Donaldson, and then, guess what? You guys know what I've been preaching all season long is if the first pitch is there, take a hack. And what does the first guy do in the 9th? Tim Anderson in the 9th inning. He takes the first pitch from Aaron Loop and hits it into the gap to the leadoff double, and he eventually comes around to score. Yeah, guess what? It was on another throwing error. Aaron Loop. I mean, he was going to score. It was kind of a suicide squeeze. They dropped the bunt down. He's going to score, and then Aaron Loop airmails it. I mean, it's just stupid. The last 2 games, this team has just been throwing the ball around, making stupid mistakes. Look, there's times where they look okay at the plate, and then there's times you're just like, what are you doing? And it's just killing me to see this. To know what this team is capable of, we've seen it over the last couple seasons. This team as a whole isn't much different. Without Edwin, you have Morales, which you could say Edwin's a bit better, statistics-wise, but Morales is still serviceable, and not having Devin Travis, yes, that hurts, but we got to live with that. And if this team wants to make any kind of push, they've got to get a second baseman, and fairly quickly. Because Barney hasn't been hitting the ball well. Goins, with runners on base, he's hitting the ball well, but he can't start a rally. He's hitting 1-something with runners, or with, nobody on. He's hitting almost 300 with guys on base. It's weird. But I'm not going to say just because of that. Another thing that I was shocked a little bit about is seeing Kevin Pillar lead off again today. He was 1 for 4 in this game. And, the guy went from hitting 315 at one point, in the leadoff spot, hasn't left the leadoff spot, and is now hitting 257. You want a table setter who's going to get on base and for the big guys. Now, I know we've been preaching about Dwight Smith Jr., and He does it again in this game as he goes 1 for 3 with an RBI. It's an RBI single to make it a 3-2 game in the, I think it was the 7th inning. That's what we love, but nothing's gonna change. You know Steve Pearce is gonna get right back in it tomorrow afternoon. He hasn't been bad, but Dwight Smith is a guy who can lead off. I'm curious if they're gonna give Pilar a day off and maybe put Dwight Smith in center. Probably not, because John Gibbons, I think he just adores Pilar in the leadoff spot. Not sure why right now, but he hasn't even put a glimpse of changing the lineup a little bit. And I think something has to change with the lineup. You have scored 2 runs in this game. You scored 4 yesterday, but really 2 of them were meaningless. They were all in the 9th inning. And you got to change something up because James Shields is on the mound for the White Sox. He's been on the DL for a bit, but when he wasn't on the DL, he was dynamite, which is kind of shocking compared to what his season was last year. And you have J.A Happ on the mound for the Jays tomorrow. We look at that and we're like, the Jays could win that one. Yeah, they could have won the first 2 games here too, but bad luck and just god-awful play leads to 2 losses. Now the Jays are 3 games under 500, and they're not really showing much fight. The mood on the bench, you're not seeing a lot of happiness. Why? Well, one because you're losing, and second of all, they're just not playing well. I've been hearing a lot of people say about rebuilding and getting rid of the older guys, and as losses go on, I'm saying, God, I want this team to be good, but I'm starting to lean that way because man, it's hurt. They're not fighting at all. You look at the way these guys are grinding runs. Jose Abreu, in that 6th inning, it was a tough pitch to hit, but he lined it out of the ballpark. How do they score? The run in the 8th and the 9th, they grind. And I look at when they give up those 2 runs and are down by 3 going into the 9th inning, I didn't have much faith because I know Bautista's up, Morales is up, and Smoke's up. Now Smoke might hit a shot or get a single, great, but Morales and Bautista with nobody on, you need 3 runs. They have with nobody on. Those guys are swinging for the fences. I mean, we as much as it's tough to say, and we all love Bautista because of his history and what he's done, but the fights aren't there. You look at what Bautista has done over the season. Now, he had a really good month, but again, today, 0 for 4. He's now hitting 225 on the season. Morales, 254. Smoke's hitting 293. He's playing well, and he continues to rake. Josh Donaldson, off night. He was 0 for 4, but the guy's been raking it over the past little while, so fine. And it's just the bottom of the lineup is seeming to get some hits. Smoke, 1 for 3. Tulowitzki, 1 for 2. Dwight Smith Jr., 1 for 3. Goins, 1 for 3. And you look at the top 3 in the order. Pilar, 1 for 4. Donaldson, 0 for 4. Bautista, 0 for 4. The bottom of the lineup is getting hits. But the top of the guys aren't doing much. It's literally a mix of everything from one day to the next. Yesterday, Joe Biagini was nowhere to be found. The Jays got 4 runs, but they gave up 11. So there was nowhere to be found there. In this game, the defense gets all shoddy, and Stroman pitches a great game, but gives up some home runs, and the bullpen kind of implodes in the 8th and 9th inning. From one day to the next, it's something different. If the Jays get a win, they come back with a garbage loss, and it's just, I'm not liking it. Now, I want them to turn it around because we know they can. We've seen it. We've seen it at points this season. We've seen it all the last 2 years before this season. But man, it's getting difficult to watch. Because when this team gets down by a couple of runs, they don't show a lot of fight. They were down 2 runs. Who gets the 2 RBIs in this game? Ryan Goins and Dwight Smith Jr. 2 non-regulars, one guy who's played 6 games in the bigs, and another guy who's been playing on and off. Where are the guys that are getting the money? They're not doing a whole lot. I can't blame Stroman. He made 2 mistakes. The pitch to Abreu was fine, but he just hit it. He's just a good hitter. That shouldn't lose you a ball game. And it did. And that's what sucks. A quality start from Stroman goes for naught. Now we look for a rebound tomorrow to salvage the finale. James Shields, J.A Happ. It's an afternoon game. I mean, I'm praying that this team can get a win, and because then they go down to Texas for a 4-game set. Now usually we play well against Texas, but I don't know what to expect. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below. What are you guys thinking about all this? What do you think this team should do? Should we just hang on till the All-Star break or deadline, then see where this team is at and go from there? Or do you think we should implode? Or do you think we're going to be okay? Let me know what you guys think, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Well, it all depends on the weather. Could be tomorrow afternoon. It could be tomorrow, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, in there sometime. Hoping for a Jays win and just to feel good. To salvage the finale of the series and win a game. I want to feel something good. Talk to you guys then.